Pledge salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, you may announce that we have a bid opening at 1:30, so we may have to take a short break.
Okay, yeah. As Bill said, we have a bid opening at 1:30, so at that time we need to go to that. Also, probably start off with a public comment, and last week it got a little long. I'm going to try to hold it to more timely comments. So, is there someone here for public comment?
I'd like to, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. Stand.
Bill Murphy is my name.
Well, if you get up there at the chair, people can see you. Sit
Right
down and
Sit right here.
sit. Yeah.
Sit, stand.
That way you get to be on,
All right.
the back of your head gets to be on television.
Oh gosh, it's the best side. So, first and foremost, I want to thank you guys just for doing what you do, because you guys have a difficult job. You got to, it's vast, because it's from here to there, all the way around. But I do have some questions, and I know if you don't have the answers, I kind of understand, but I'd like these questions to be answered either to me or to the public, and if you don't mind, I can ask questions?
Sure.
Okay, well, I don't know what the procedure is, but, and this is all centered around, as you probably are guessing, about the sale of the nursing home. And my first question is, what's the motive behind selling it? I mean, why are we even talking about it? That's really that's my first question. Why would we even entertain the idea if it's working, so to speak? And another question that I have is, if you do sell it, and I'm not condemning or anything, I just want to know, if you do sell the nursing home, are we going to be responsible? And I say we because the county taxpayers are going to be the one that have to do this. Are we going to have to pay back sick pay and or vacation pay to the current employees? And do we know how much that money is, if you have to?
We can
That
take
answer, I don't know if you want to start with the first one. To your second question, yes, we checked into it, and it was, what, 80-some thousand, but some of that has been paid off.
that is.
I don't know what the current number is.
Yeah, because that fluctuates from
Year to
year, which is money that's owed regardless. I mean, that
No, I understand.
Yeah, it'd just be because it would be one lump sum would be more apparent.
Okay, all right. I understand that. Okay, thank you for that. And did you have a motive for selling the nursing home yet? Or
I don't like the word motive. That almost sounds like there's something dark or sinister about.
Oh, well, okay. The
reasoning,
the logic behind it.
Oh, there's several different things. I think that in our job, we should always question what resources the county has that could possibly be used in a different way to save taxpayers money in the future. We've considered moving road and bridge, or do we leave it where it's at? Do we build? Do we not? Do we fix the courthouse, or do we, how much money do you put in it? There's all kinds of questions. So I guess to me, maybe it's not the sacred cow that you never ever touch it under any circumstances. That's never, why not look at it?
I just want to know if usually when somebody decides to sell something, they're selling it for a reason. They're not just because they're entertaining that. But that's fine. That's a good enough reason for me.
There's very few counties that have nursing homes.
I understand that.
6. That's been one of the questions that I've gotten both from the current commission and from commissioners that have now moved on is like, should the county even be in the business of being a long-term provider?
Okay, well then your motive, and I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but it appears to me that your motive to sell the nursing home might be because nobody else runs them.
No, but
I guess okay. Well, I don't understand, but that's fine.
My reasoning was the liability. There's a big liability. In fact, we got a suit supposedly filed against us. Yes, we have insurance, but like anything else, you have a claim, your insurance is going to go up. The liability is one thing. Everybody paints it as we get out of it, the facility's going to go downhill. We did a lot of due diligence on this outfit, and we're still continuing to do due diligence. Jack come up with some things here. I don't know where he got them. That it's not as good a report as we've heard. Chairman Noel got a letter from some lady that's in charge of the Kansas nursing homes or something. She's got no advantage or disadvantage. She gave him really high marks. I would at least like to see it break even, and right now, at the current time, it's not doing that. Even with the trust, even with having some work done for the home being paid out of county general.
Okay, and that's I suppose that's an adequate answer. It doesn't really. I mean, everything has liability. Everything you guys touch. I mean, I could walk in here and slip on the floor and you're liable.
Sure.
So that doesn't mean you shouldn't quit meeting here.
When you got nurses lifting patients around, you're more apt to have claims, or if a patient
Sure.
falls.
Okay. The other thing, my next question is, and I'm just.
If you want to comment on that, Jack, or you want to?
No, I just listen.
I'm
a great listener.
And my understanding, and this is public information, that the Harway Trust contributes about $200,000 a year to the facility and its operation.
181 big.
Okay. Well, we've also had some months that were years that were different. Okay.
I think the average was 181, but thereabouts.
Okay. And my understanding is that the potential selling price is going to be somewhere between $2 and $2.5 million. And pardon me for that, doing the math on that, and I'm not the most educated individual on this, but in 10 years or 12 years or so, you're going to receive as much money from the Harway Trust as you would get from the revenue from selling the nursing home. And
well, that's true. That's not true. It's going to go towards the employees' pay. We're not going to actually say, okay, here's $2.5 million, do what you want with it. We're still going to have 0 for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years.
The Harway money can only be used for nursing, and no other point. It can't be used for maintenance or any other.
I understand that. I understand that. And but the nursing home, my dad was a resident there for 3.5 years, and I've been up there. I'm a regular attendee, so to speak, and I see these people, and the care up there is absolutely exceptional. But that's all not here. That's really not the question. Is my next question is you were indicating to me what the revenue that you received if you sell the nursing home, what would be used, what would that money be used for? Would it be for some other capital improvement? Would it be for?
I mean, by the county? I mean, we don't know where that would be. That would be up to the people that oversee the Harway Trust where that would go.
No, I'm talking about the revenue from the sale.
We discussed new road and bridge facility. We've discussed putting it towards the mills. We've discussed putting new windows in the courthouse. We discussed putting some money in to help jumpstart our road and bridge project that we're planning out. There's nothing been written in stone, but probably the leading thing is the road and bridge facility, because it's not a pretty sight to see when you come into town and the building is basically falling down. And we thought getting it centrally located throughout the whole county.
So you would take the
No, we wouldn't take a full amount and designate it to one. We're talking about maybe divided up 3 or 4 different ways.
Yeah, there'd be several different infrastructure
We're just talking-
projects that would be
Yes.
probably funded out of it. But again, there's been nothing more than what ifs and how can we and that type of thing. Without that going, if all those projects took place in the next 7 or 8 years and had to all be put on to taxpayers, you could see quite a raise on the mill levy. If all of those projects that we discussed were done without any alternate source of money, so you could see there would be quite a bit of difference. Excuse me.
I think why we also looked in diversifying is that everybody gets a little bit, so to speak. I mean, the city residents, I would say that the windows, although it's not going to help them, they're seeing some of the money. It's not like it's all going to go to road and bridge where it'd be strictly on road. Of course, there's people in the city that have loved ones in the country.
I know I'm not going to get into what the city people are doing with the county because that doesn't make any difference to me whatsoever. What matters to me probably more than anything is the care and the type of care that the people who reside at Senior Village get. And I see, and this is my public comment, I see this as a reduction in quality of care when we sell it, because you're going to have people are going to be motivated differently. 9 times out of 10, my capitalistic mindset says that the county shouldn't be in it. But the fact that we have a $5 million trust fund, that one of the requirements that it has is that the county own it. It would seem apparent to me for the people who reside there and the people in Atchison County who will reside there someday, I hope I don't have to, we ought to have the best that we can do. And to kiss away, in essence, $5 million or $200,000 or near that a year doesn't make economic sense or human care sense. And I understand the need for windows and the road and bridge thing. You guys need a new shop. There's no question about it. I've seen it. It's terrible. But I don't think you do it at that expense. So I support you on the road and bridge part of it. But I think using those resources and piecemeal it out, because once you've done it, it's gone. And you won't be able to do that again. So when the next time comes around, are we going to look for something to sell? I really think that if the quality of my mother-in-law spent 5.5 years at Medical Lodge. My father spent 3.5 years at Senior Village, and my mom and dad spent a little bit of time at Cray Manor. The best one is the one we got, and I just hate to see it diminished for a couple $1 million. That's just how I look at it, and I think a lot of folks in the community feel that same way.
Okay. Anything else?
That's well.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate the time.
Okay. Is there anyone else? Ms. Terry, were you here at a specific time?
105.
105.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Do you have a public comment, Charlie?
Well, yeah, but
She's
part of
on.
the presentation with the video and stuff,
So we need to
let you go. Thank you.
get up here when you see the back of your head.
That's the best looking one.
We heard that before.
First of all, I'm Charlie Purdue, Atchison, Kansas, and I want to thank you commissioners for giving me the privilege to come and speak today to you. And it's on the same topic that was just mentioned by Mr. Murphy. Is I think the problem today is the Senior Village has become a political issue at this time. I mean, with everything that's going on in the election, it's become a political issue brought out. The thing is, and I've watched the videos periodically after your meetings and stuff, and I see all of the petitions that has been brought before you, and I think it's like 969 or 696.
965, I believe.
That's
That's
Okay, but I can imagine that maybe some of those petition signatures may be on more than one time. Somebody asked me during my deal, being out and about with this election deal, if I'd seen one. I have never seen, honest to God, I've never seen one of these petitions and never had one brought to me. But anyway, the thing is, I just think that right now that there is so much discrepancy amongst the citizens and the people of the county on this nursing home, whether it's making money or paying for itself or if it's losing money. But I think that as the governing body, I feel like that you should take in consideration those people's desires or requests. Now, several months ago, I was requested to send a letter to the Globe. And at that time, I requested, or I mentioned in there, that I fully believed that the nursing home needed to have an external audit. I understand you're doing an internal audit, which shows figures there, but I think really you need to do an external audit and bring somebody in to check the operations. I'm in full agreement that we need to retain the nursing home. I've had family there. I had in-laws there. I had an uncle there that lived there about 8 years and stuff. They were great. In fact, just recently I just had the Newman family that was there, and they couldn't have been taken care of better. I mean, comparing to the other ones in town. But the only thing that I'm going to ask is that you seriously take and give some consideration to doing an external audit and bringing this in. And therefore, when you do that, you'll bring clarity and transparency and make everything accountable for what's going on here with this nursing home.
How in depth would that need to be? Just, are you talking about the basics? Looking at what?
I think the audit should include pretty much everything. You should go into depth with it because I see no reason with the trust money and stuff and everything. I just cannot see a reason that cannot be profitable. There's something that is wrong. And I think if you bring an external auditor in here and they examine the nursing home, I don't think, and you may not turn out the way you think, but we'll at least know, and you've put questions to peace with the public that's out here that's elected you as commissioners and want you to serve.
Charlie, as a matter of U.S. government standards for government accounting, we're required to have an external audit every year, in depth, and it's done every year. Our audit hasn't come back for 2018 yet, but we have an external audit from a certified auditing firm. So that's being done every year.
But is it the audit that
Let me finish real quick. I'm sorry. What was the question?
Okay, the audit that you're doing, are you completely as far as purchases, upkeep, maintenance, nursing?
Yes.
Or is it just the financial side of it?
Yes. It's everything.
I don't think an audit is maybe telling the public what they want to know, and that is the difference between your interpretation on if it's being profitable,
Okay,
if
so
taxpayers' money, I'm speaking,
Yeah.
that the taxpayers' money has been used for specific things, and you're saying that don't count. So I think what the public is asking is,
Okay, if Charlie is asking for a financial audit, which I thought I heard him say, we have the financial audit every year. If you're looking for an operational audit, that's done by the state of Kansas. It's done every year. That's available on file at the Atchison Senior Village. And the next thing about being profitable, not profitable, if you go to the county website, you go under documents, go into 2019 to find a county budget. Page 1 tells you how much we spend in the county for taxes. And I believe it's page 22 shows you the operation of the county nursing home for 17, 18, and budget for 19. It's 100% self-financing.
but I think the discrepancy is between whether you're counting HR expenses and those kind of things against the nursing home, which is your interpretation is they ought to be provided anyway, and what we've been saying is that maybe the nursing home should be paying that, because as a nonprofit and with the Harway Trust, why does it still require taxpayer money to be going into it?
Okay, well, it's out of Peggy's mouth. She would be glad to pay for the payroll services. But when we say these payroll services at the county, are we going to see a reduction in staff and expenses by the county government? If we're not servicing 71 employees in human resources, are we going to have a reduction in staff, the county government?
Well, there's different ways we could solve that. Some of that would be we would still continue to do it, but the county would be reimbursed, which would the same staff would be doing the same procedures and the same function.
And that way, that would actually lower the expense if that was done that way.
Yes, that would be one thing. I mean, see, we're talking about how we're seeing if that is actually taxpayer money going into the nursing home or not.
Mm-hmm.
So there's different aspects like that. I don't think we need to get into the weeds on that right now.
No, I agree.
But I think what you're saying is you would have an external look at all of those figures.
That's correct. That's correct. Look at everything there, the purchasing, everything of it. And I'm sorry, I didn't want to get off into the weeds with this.
Okay.
You know, Jack and I are both the same way, but I do not, when I'm out in the public here, I see so many questions that people want answered.
I think there's a lot of misunderstanding, Charlie.
So,
And that's why I recommend going up and look at the reports. Peggy will provide them for you, and you can take a look at them.
I think we're going to need more than a financial. I think we're going to need an operation. I mean, how much money are we spending towards food for how many patients we have for residents? How many nurses do we have for residents? I think it's going to be more than just financial to see if there's places where we can make it just break even. I'd be happy if it broke even.
and the thing is, this isn't, the nursing home is an asset to the county. I mean, if you can correct it and make it work, it's something that will flow, plus you have the other money that's going into it. So
I would be up for looking at that. Now, at one point, I think it was bannered around that we do this full-fledged study. It was going to be $30,000, which that would be.
Yeah. That'd be the economic feasibility study, which is,
I mean, that's to me was exorbitant amount of money for maybe what we would have got out of it. But if we could do something else,
I agree with you. I don't want to keep any more of your time, but I want to thank you for allowing me to come speak. And truly, I hope you can take into consideration of doing an external audit too.
We're always.
thanks for your.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Chuck. Where do we look for somebody that can do it, preferably out of county?
I don't know.
I think Peggy could answer that question.
Yeah. I was going to say maybe
we could ever come down for the budget session or the workshop next week to talk about how to do that.
Okay. We've got a couple minutes before the bid opening. Do we have time do we have to be right at 1:30 or?
You don't have to be.
Is there another public comment?
Well, no, we have, well, I didn't, was there another?
She has a tape up there that's
She
there.
had a presentation, she has it.
I'm sorry, Jessica, you had your hand up earlier and did you?
Well, I was just gonna.
Please
say,
come
I-
up, please come up to
I was
the,
just gonna ask if the current audits, if that's what you're considering them, if, I think maybe what we had talked about was maybe something more of, from a business perspective, that could give more of a projection of where things could be going. If you're at risk in 5 years, how can you address it now? Who could tell you that? So maybe audit is not, you know, what direction you want to go into, but if you could take and find a way to address the issues, because right now you're saying you're not cutting even and you're saying you're 100% standing without any assistance. So somewhere in the middle lies the
Susan,
truth. It
what'd you
sounds
say what I
like,
said?
well, that,
100% profitable.
yeah, 100% profitable.
Well, I'm just telling you what the county budgets.
Right, and it
Okay.
sounds like those audits and are probably making sure that you're up to standards, or that, I mean, it's more probably like
So you're looking
quality.
for a strategic initiative to look at the future?
Probably something to tell
Okay.
you what's going to happen if there is an issue now and how you can address it so that 10 years from now it's not being brought back up again if you can fix it. But I think right now there just needs to probably be a solution so that there can be a compromise. So that's what I would ask for.
Okay, thank you.
Jessica Purdue. Thank you.
Okay. She had her hand up and I hadn't motioned to her, then I forgot, so I wanted to make sure we got to that. How do we want to proceed? Do we want to do the bid opening first? Because we're only a minute away from that.
Do we have
That
other
shouldn't
public
be-
comment? I can't see that.
I didn't think there
No,
was.
she's
Oh, no,
with
oh,
someone else.
no.
She's with us.
Okay, well, why don't anybody, the bid opening won't come forward, this won't last too long. I don't know if anybody, how many did we get?
Did you get I prepared some tally sheet. Did you get one?
I do have one, thank you.
Did you get one? I think there's, well, thank you.
Which way are we going here?
We have any other,
The list here is ones that were sent out to,
That's the list of everything.
and we got
First-
3 returned.
The first one is bid question marks, so from the reader to speak.
Okay.
3 of them,
It's your turn.
and then the percentage rate.
Alright, so 3 we have are Bank of Atchison, Exchange Bank, and Fully.
And who was before?
Fully. Okay, so we'll go with the Exchange Bank one first. Let's see here. Go with the interest rate of 4.29 and an annual payment of $21,218.36. There's no additional fees, no restrictions upon prepayment.
what is their length period?
They're 7 years is what
7
we asked
years,
for.
okay. They're all 7 years, okay.
The next one is Bank of Atchison. Okay, so this one shows there's 4 different options here. Let me do these real quick. Okay, so I guess I'll just go through each option. Option 1 is an interest rate of 4.55 and a payment of $21,471. This is a fixed rate. No fee, and that's up to 7 years. Option 2 is a 4.3% interest with a $21,273 payment. It's fixed and it's 1% of the original amount as a fee. That's up to 7 years. And they have option 3 at 4.35% at a $21,312 at initiation, and then it's adjustable. So it's fixed for the first 3 years and will adjust annually by after based on 1 year treasury plus 1.5% floor of 4.35% throughout the life of the loan. And then option 4, 3.85%, 20,918 at initiation. It's variable, floating interest rate daily, tied to prime, 1.4%, floor of 3.85% throughout the life of the loan. And then we got fully equipment. Let's see. They're at a 4.55% rate at an annual payment of $21,421. Go and pass these through.
Any additional fees or anything on Fuller?
No additional fees stated here.
I would make a motion to accept the bid for the Exchange National Bank because it's the lowest priced.
You got something you want to say?
No, the amortization is, yeah, it's probably right.
I don't like the variable rates. I like it when they're locked in, so I would second your motion that we accept the Exchange Bank and interest rate of 4.29 for 7 years with an annual payment of $21,218.36. I got the right number.
That's the number.
Yes. Is there any other discussion? Pat, do you have anything more? Was there any?
Well, just the Bank of Atchison, and it doesn't matter, but Bank of Atchison and Foley Equipment both for 4.55%, but they have different annual payments amounts, but that doesn't, they're both higher than the exchange, and so it shouldn't make any difference. So I apologize for my outburst.
Bank of Atchison didn't have to more of a rate, but that was only for a year or 2 years, and I thought whatever they were, yours is locked in for
First
record.
block.
Yeah, so I like that. So we have a motion in a second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the bid from Exchange National Bank and Trust. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Pass 3-0.
Thank you, Mark. You'll get with Mark on the bid numbers and all that stuff.
Correct. I will do that.
How soon do you think about it?
I haven't changed, so
You've got it.
I have all the information you need. I just back at the office. So.
Yeah, I'll give you my card and you can email it to me saying you want to do it.
And that amount was for 126 even?
Yeah. Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, because we had to let the John Deere go back to 25th, so.
I better sign this.
So the fourth bid from Bank of is 3.85, but it was variable, so you don't know what it is going on.
The last 3 was variable.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you say I need to sign something?
I think this is something they'll have to sign.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Okay, next on the agenda is a reading and approval of the minutes from last.
I move to accept the minutes as presented.
I'll second that, Mr. Chairman.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the minutes. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Pass 3-0. Commissioner comments and committee reports.
I think I'm going to wait till next week.
Okay.
And I can't think of anything off the top of my head, to be honest with you. I'm a little bit busy.
I had my adult correction meeting last Wednesday. Everything is on budget. Shelley did say we have 158 more adult offenders this year at this time than we did last year. And she wanted to shoot for around 75% succession rate, and we're currently at 92. But then she told me that there's a time limit, and like if you go to jail, it's going to be tough to have another crime. So that 92% success rate isn't so good. I mean, it's good, but I mean, if you got majority of them going to jail, they're not going to get in trouble. So it's going to show up they're successful, not getting in another crime.
I don't have anything to report this week. Okay, 105. Terry, it's 135. Sorry for the delay, but you want to come on up and present?
Let me pass these out, and if we can show my 5-minute DVD she's got ready, and then I'll talk after that, explain a couple things.
Thank you,
You'll
Charlie.
pass those on.
Sorry.
There you
Oh, sorry.
Sorry,
Do you want to
Oh, I
listen
didn't know if I needed one.
when we talk about
No, you better.
an audit and
Thank you.
workshop?
We have a new DVD every year, so people that give can kind of see where their money's been going the last year. And show this, and then I'll explain a couple things. Thank you, though, for your time, guys. I appreciate it.
Sorry, we're late.
No, no problem. When you're asking for money, you keep a good attitude.
Appreciate that.
Atchison County is a great place to call home. But great things don't just happen. It takes a community of volunteers, neighbors willing to give a hand, and staying vigilant year after year.
I think overall the economy is a little bit better this year, but that doesn't seem to be happening.
Lydia. Lydia.
That's me.
Randy, turn that Randy. It's like
We still have just as many people.
Your United Way donation stays here as an investment in our community. The Board of Directors, local volunteers, screen organizations for reliability, efficiency, and results.
ACCA is 50 years old this year, October 1st, 1968. I don't think anybody knows all the hard work that goes into providing our appropriate developmental care for our kids. For every dollar spent on early childhood excellent care, you save $9 when they start kindergarten.
These are all
So
agencies that we help
early
support
childhood
that you're watching.
education, we save money for the government, for the town, for families.
Our United Way helps from babies to elderly people. Every need you can think of, United Way has an organization that's helping. If you give to United Way, you're helping all needs.
United Way makes scholarships possible so kids can have programs like Boys and Girls Club, Scouting, YMCA programs, Theater Atchison, and programs you may never hear of.
I take lunches out and milk and give them to the kids during the summer month. If you don't have a lunch, you're welcome to come get one from us and others.
United Way helps people get a second start, from adult education classes to court advocates for kids to safe shelter from abuse.
It's a domestic violence emergency services for battered women and children. United Way steps in and they have provided for us. Without the United Way, Doves would not be here.
Your United Way donation provides emergency disaster relief and legal assistance for families, meals, social activities, and program guidance for seniors, help with rent, utilities, clothing, and daily life needs, school supplies, and world-class health care for Atchison County kids, and programs for people facing daily challenges beyond their control.
They cut my food stamps way down. I mean, I went from over $150 now to $15 a month after my husband passed away. And the only way I was able to eat was go to the food pantries.
Couldn't afford to buy food with what I May, and now I have my 3 grandsons with me. So I started coming to pantry. There's a lot of people out there that are going hungry. And if it wasn't for the pantries,
I'm Judy, and this is Scott, my son, who has intellectual and developmental disabilities. United Way has helped me stay in touch with the UCP, and over the years, UCP has helped us with funding for Scott to be able to get equipment such as a battery-operated bath lift and many other pieces of equipment needed over the years. Thank you to the Atchison Area United Way for always being there for us.
You can make a one-time donation or choose from a range of payroll deduction plans. You can designate your pledge to a specific organization. And out-of-town workers can designate their workplace contributions to be sent back home to Atchison County.
people that don't give, I always think, no, it's because you don't understand what we do. If you start by giving $2 a week, you can think, oh, I get part of that, and it's a big deal. So just give $1 or $2. That's all we ask. When we collectively put that together, it makes all the difference.
If you could feed one kid 1 meal a day, we've achieved something.
I can't thank them. And I know the women and the children thank them also. We could not do it that night, so please give generously. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. You're so important and you're so appreciated. Okay, I'll just need a couple minutes of your time. I don't know how much you guys are aware of. Dove's is closed. Sherry Dunn, who was the original starter up of Dove's, is trying to get another one. And there is a huge need for that here. They're full all the time. I have had many times when women have come to me for help and I've been able to get them to Dove's. So hopefully we'll get another one going. I think we have so many low-income people, undereducated, and they start arguing. Money makes it worse, and then it ends up domestic violence, and they need to have separation somehow. When women come to me right now, I'm taking them to either St. Joe or Leavenworth, but we really need to get that back. I don't know how aware you are of what the need is,
Very
but
aware.
it's huge. It's
huge.
awful. And another problem we've had here in Atchison that's getting much worse is homelessness. I have a lady right now that I'm trying to help, and we do not have anything here. I used to be able to take women to Dove's just for being homeless sometimes, and again, I have to take them to St. Joe or Leavenworth. So if I have the funds, we can help them with things they need before I can get them out there. I've actually, when it was women and kids, had them stay in my home, which is, no, not a good idea. But when it's women and little kids, I am not going to turn them away. So we're trying to get another Dove's going of somehow. But
Can I make a comment about
sure,
this?
Sure, please.
Something I didn't realize, and I guess I realized it, but I never thought about it. Most people are domestically abused have children under 12.
I'm sorry.
Most of the people are domestically involved, whether it be a man or a woman, have children under 12. Half those children have witnessed the abuse.
Yeah.
And it makes them act out in school. It makes them become bullies themselves.
And abusers as they grow up.
Yep, and you forget that the children are victims here as much as the adults.
More so.
Maybe more so. Because it may perpetuate itself into the future.
And then they're raised up to abuse themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I 100% agree, and the stats show that. What we're really working on right now, because this is my 13th year on this job, I don't know how to fix it. I'm never going to know. When adults come to me for help, it's like, what's going to keep them from coming back next month? So we're focusing more on trying to help kids. If kids see there's a different way, maybe it'll help. We're doing more, we pay for afternoon programs at Theater Atchison, Boys and Girls Club. That's one of the places that get the most money from us.
YMCA, we're paying for all second graders to learn to swim. Really focusing more on kids, and maybe if you start early, maybe they won't become abusers. It's important for them to know that just because they're raised that way, there are other ways. So we're really trying to make a difference here. It's a tough community. I thought when I started this job 13 years ago, oh, well, they haven't run it right because I'll get in there and fix things. Nah, that's not going to happen. But I am going to help a lot of people. The only way I can do that is through contributions. So, do you guys have any questions?
You know the starfish story.
No.
Well, a man was walking down the beach, and he saw a little boy throwing starfish back in the ocean. And there was 10,000, 100,000 starfish for miles. And he kept throwing the starfish down. And the man says, "Why are you doing this? You'll never make a difference." He said, "I made a difference for that one."
yeah. It's so true.
Yeah.
And when I can help somebody, it's so neat. I get to see. I
made a difference for that
me.
one. So.
Yeah, and that's all we can do. So.
Ms. Duncan was here recently and telling us about her hopes to get the new program started. Are you involved in it with her to, I imagine that would be quite a lengthy process and to become a new 501c3 and all of that.
Yeah.
I would really see that there could be a benefit, to everybody if, she was helped or guided and of course, I was wondering if you were involved with that.
Well, Sherry, the original, Sherry Dunn, the original person is also trying to start one up. And
I didn't realize that.
her.
Yeah, there's somebody else.
Oh, okay.
I've been working with her trying to get that. There's actually some conflicts between the two, which I don't know. I stay out of it.
I was out of the loop on that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm sorry.
No. Whoever gets one up and going. I am more than happy to help with it, and I've let Sherry know, because it is so needed here.
Okay.
Anyway, guys, there's 20 agencies. All the money stays local. You guys are set up for payroll deduction, and some of you have money taken out of your check. The courthouse then sends a check to me once a month, I think it is. And, that's a huge way. That's what I do. That's how I give to United Way. So that's very helpful. All your information is on here. And I will take some out and give them to Senior Village, which I've always done. So
why don't you leave a few out here?
I will. I brought a bunch.
Okay, because I seen you had a lot of them. And
whatever goes on with Senior Village, I don't know, but I'm dropping stuff out there. Hopefully get some money from them.
Do we have a United Way meeting at the county?
Most
employers have a meeting that they talk about United Way and kind of making.
I've always come once a year and talked.
So they do have this.
Yeah. So anything else, guys? Can I?
Maybe you ought to plug your fundraiser this weekend. Are you still available? Isn't that the deal at the high school this weekend?
Trivia night.
Trivia night. Yeah. I couldn't think of the word trivia.
That's yeah.
Is there still spots available?
There are. Here's
I've been participating the last several years in it. It's a lot of fun.
Oh,
$15.
$15 a person, and there's food. And if you've been there, you can tell them there's food all night at no extra charge.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever put on the spot. It's so much fun. You should do that.
It is a lot of fun.
You're smart. We have other attorneys doing that. It's really fun though, guys. And right now we're down on teams. Our goal this year, I'm almost there. Our goal this year is 205,000. Last year it was 202, and for last year, 2018 actually, we're at 211. Which is good. We made goal. The year previous to that, at the same time, we were at 235. We are down. I'm going back to the same people over and over. We don't have a lot of new businesses. And I think people are sitting there thinking, good God, wasn't she just here asking for money? And I want to say, no, we still need, the need's going to be here forever. So
I was going to tell everybody that this is a very fun night and very
and for
economical,
$15.
For $15.
And it all goes to our United Way.
And it's over subjects. The trivia is trivia. It goes from music to pop culture So it's a lot of fun there's no way you're going to know near all of this
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
If you are, you don't have a life.
But having the team together, that's the hope that you'll have somebody.
So are you
to
accepting
do it.
teams even that night?
I am, yes, I will.
Okay.
I will, because we usually have around 20 teams. You want to give me the, and we only have 13 right now. A lot of times we have several the last week.
Mm-hmm.
All you got to do is call me and I'll hold a table. You can pay that at night.
Okay.
But it's really fun. You guys should all participate.
Saturday
Yes.
night
Uh-huh.
at 7
Saturday
o'clock
night
at the high
seven
school.
at the high school. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's the county
You can pay
responsible
that
for
night, so
Guys,
I appreciate
participation. You know, we could. He asked if we could sponsor a table, but
we've got other people that will sponsor teams, but getting people to do it is
they need
more what we need
participation.
right now. We need some warm bodies out there. You guys, thank you so much.
8.
Up to 8.
Up to 8.
Up to
per
8 on
table,
the team.
so.
And it's $15 each, regardless of how many you have. There's no extra charge for. So all you have to do is call me. I'll got my numbers on there. So.
All right. Thank you very much.
I know you guys are busy.
You want this
I appreciate
back,
it.
or?
No,
Okay.
pass it around, and I'll leave more brochures out here.
Okay. Thank you very much,
Appreciate
Jerry.
it so much, guys. Have a good day.
You too. Appreciate all you do.
Yeah, right back at you.
I thought we had lit it on
No. We do have the EMS. Do we want to hop over and get to? Are you in a hurry?
I'm in no hurry.
Well, why don't we just go ahead and go with the order then? We have the EMS monthly reports. Did everybody have a chance to look
I
at
had a
them?
chance to look at them.
Any comments or anything? I didn't see anything.
I glanced at it pretty quickly, but I thought they had some stellar results.
I didn't see anything to comment on. Did you have anything, Bill?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to look at them a little bit more.
Yeah, I'll study them more closely when I get them. I looked at them on the computer. And, okay. Okay, kneecap, letter of support.
I'm here to present to see if you would sign a letter of support for us. We are in what we call our designation renewal period, and what that means is that we're in competition, competing again for our federal funding that we have that offers. That funding gives us the opportunity that we can continue with our Head Start program. A lot of people are not aware that our Head Start program is not just a preschool program. It's also a family well-being program as well as a health. We encourage families to keep up with their yearly exams, their kids' exams, as well as helping the parents achieve their goals. If it was to whether to go back to school, to get a job, or whatever it may be that they set for their goal. We also have other programs that we offer besides our Head Start, and I brought those brochures. We have our kneecap services, our early Head Start, and our poverty simulations. With our early Head Start, it's our teachers that go into the homes and work with children from prenatal up until 3 years old, and then our Head Start program is from 3 to 5. As far as our other services, we do help with the homeless, help getting them housed, helping them find jobs, helping them be reestablished back into society's life. As you've heard with United Way, we do have an extremely, extremely large amount of homeless individuals here in Atchison. So by losing this grant, we're not going to be able to do as much or nearly as well as we do now. And I believe someone from our central office had sent a letter up to you to see if you would sign on that.
Yeah.
When you say homelessness, are they living in their cars?
Yes, we've had quite a few that's been living along the river in tents. We've had a few that's been living in their cars. We've got a couple that we have found sleeping under the decks of like mulers after hours. They sneak over and curl up under their deck. Yeah,
There's a lot more than what we anticipate. I can go into our office at 7 in the morning and you would be amazed at how many people you see up and wandering on the mall at that time of morning, because they're trying to get from wherever they were staying, like if it was under Mueller's deck or somewhere that they knew they shouldn't be, they're trying to get up in enough time that they can get away from that area so they don't get caught. I've come across an individual that was constantly going through the trash cans early in the morning. So we were able to get him some help. At first he didn't want help, and then with the colder weather coming in last year, he finally accepted our help, and we've got him housed. So yeah, there's quite a few, unfortunately. A lot of our Head Start families, they are what we classify as homeless as well. They may be where they're living with 3 or 4 other families in a house. They're just kind of couch surfing from home to home because they don't have a permanent home of their own.
When they had the seminar that I did on human trafficking, I don't know if you were there.
No, I was not at that one.
They showed a video and then said, they talked then about the signals about homelessness, and you look at it again, you start to see people hiding under places.
Yes.
That you didn't see.
And they don't like to make eye contact. Like in the mornings, they're in a hurry to get away when they see you coming because they're scared that you're going to report them.
If I see a homeless person, who should I call?
Send them to Kneecap. We actually even have a person that's over just the homeless section.
What about 8 o'clock in the morning?
I know.
Always answering your phone, or
there's not. We used to also send to Dove Shelter as well. Once again, need, and we don't have that Dove Shelter. We've also been known to just call an officer because a lot of times they can find them in the place.
I know the police locally here try their best to help.
They do. Yeah. And I know a lot of homeless people are scared that they're going to get arrested, but that is not the case. They are very good at helping them get somewhere. We work with Catholic Charities as well and Salvation Army as well to help get them homed, even if it's just getting them a couple hotel stay nights until we can find a situation, especially with the Dove Shelter closed right now.
Okay. Any other questions? I serve on the Kneecap board, so I know for a lot of these programs. And was it Kneecap 16 counties that serves in northeast Kansas?
Yes. And we've been here in Atchison since 1965, just in the Atchison County area.
Mr. Chairman, I've moved to sign the letter of
recommendation.
Thank you.
From Atchison County, Kansas.
I second that, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded to sign the letter for Kneecap. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Passed 3-0.
And thank you for your time today.
No problem. Our pleasure.
The nice big glasses, these are fun to start.
Okay, do you want to just take this?
Yeah, I can take that.
That way.
Hand deliver it to Miss Jet.
I didn't realize Jet's name was Jeanette also.
Yes.
So that's the reason.
They call her Jet.
Yeah.
Yes, we have 2 Jeanettes. Brandy's, Jeanette's, and Shelby's are our popular name in our organization.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Jet. We're all
Jet.
close to the same age.
No, not really.
And thank you. It's nice to see you back up here.
Well, yes. Nice seeing you guys again.
Welcome. Pat, we've got this. This was in the blue folder, and I didn't get this stuff over here. Do you know what that is about?
Oh, yeah, he talked to you about it. It's a road sign or road safety study that the K.S.A. does for I think it's for the entire county, for all of the collector roads.
Okay.
And then the local cost is $5,000. They will pay $45,000, so it's a $50,000 project. It's an engineering study of all of our paved roads.
Okay, so we need to approve that then.
I think it's a good deal.
Okay, now I remember it now. I just, by looking at that, it didn't refresh what we were discussing. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there any additional discussion on that?
Oh.
I mean,
There's no, not for me. It doesn't have the lane miles in there. I know Seth had that when he was up here. He told us.
but they're just not filled in.
But those aren't filled in. But
which he would put that in. So, do I hear a motion to sign off on a fiscal year 2018 to 2022 local road safety plan funding application?
So moved.
A second, Mr. Chairman.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? 3-0. I guess that's.
Just the one signature to be made, make a motion that Chairman sign off.
yeah, I think it's adequate.
I said sign off, so I think that would be correct. Older unfinished business. County council updates.
The Republican Party is meeting on Thursday night. The Republican Party precinct committee people for Atchison County will select the new county attorney in the meeting at 5:30. They have their organizational meeting right before the convention. That is the party's annual. Might be a biennial meeting, I'm not sure, but they have their organizational meeting right before, and then they'll go into the convention to select the new county attorney. So we should know who the new county attorney is on Friday or Thursday night.
So then what's the process? They send a letter to the governor?
It has to be either hand delivered to the governor or sent by certified mail within 24 hours of the close of the meeting. I had last year, or the last time, I think it was when Connie was appointed as the treasurer, and Michelle was going to something in Topeka, and she hand carried it down to the governor and the Secretary of State. The original goes to the governor, a copy goes to the Secretary of State. I don't think she's able to do that, and I was going to talk with Detective Meyer to see if he could do it, because they frequently take things down to the KBI lab, but he was ill this morning, so I haven't talked to him.
Is that a courier service to take it?
Somebody can take it, or we can get it down by certified mail.
That would be what date?
That would be on the 2nd, on Friday.
Okay, I mean, if nobody else, maybe I could be available. I mean, consider me if.
Are you going to be at the convention?
No, I won't be there Thursday night. I wasn't planning on it, but
if you're going to take the letter down, you probably need to get it so you can get it right that night.
Well, they'll have it that night, but I will check with law enforcement and see if somebody's going to the KBI lab, because I know that they go there frequently.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, preferably that way, but I'm just saying that's another option. I would take it down if you need somebody to.
Good.
I would need directions and know where I'm going down there, because
the Capitol building.
Yeah,
it's in the Capitol building. Well, I can get there.
The Secretary of State's in the old. It used to be the Historical Society building.
Okay, I think I know where that wing's at. Yeah.
It's at 10th and is that Jackson? Can't remember. I know where it is.
10th of Jackson.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I bet you Chris Kobach won't be there anyway.
I think you're right. Okay. Any other updates?
That's all I have.
Okay. Why don't we?
I'm Jake Schmidtline. I'm the branch manager at Murphy Tractor in Topeka. I just wanted to make myself available in case any conversation came up from the email that I sent to Chairman Knoll last week, but I didn't have any.
I don't recall getting.
Okay, maybe I'll check to see if it went through.
Okay.
Just in regards to the motor grader bid process and just what we've done in the past versus how this round went.
Okay, I didn't have not received anything.
Okay.
If that involves the process, maybe it would be something that I ought to talk with him about
Yeah.
anyway, so.
Do you have contact information for have him send it?
Talk to him right now.
And if it does get to me, I would forward it to Pat. But,
Well, and part of the reason is I'm new branch manager as of May. Our salesman that's been covering the county of Atchison left us in September, so there was a little bit of overlap. So I just wanted to make sure that nothing's missed going forward.
So you missed that big opportunity.
We submitted it to
No,
Seth, but I don't
they
believe
bid on it.
I didn't know if I didn't see in any of the meeting minutes or watching the videos that it was formally presented. So I was just curious if we made a mistake on our bid process or what took place.
I think you ought to talk to Pat after the meeting.
That's fine.
okay, that was the runner-up bid. It was, but we went through the
There was more than one bid, but I don't remember what they were.
K.S.A or
Sourcewell, or formerly NJPA.
Yeah.
Sourcewell.
Yeah. So that's
Correct, and that I realized that we didn't bid it that way originally. I don't believe, but our pricing wasn't requested. I'll speak with him afterwards and make sure that we.
Let's see if I've got anything.
Yeah, there's a process question. We'd like sure Pat knows about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other things?
I was looking to see if I had my notes on it. I'm looking.
I don't have anything in my notes either.
290.
Yeah. And I came in even, and there was a bid submitted. So
Okay. I just want to make sure that it was received. And
Yes,
that
yes,
it was.
through the process, we at least.
And I apologize. I'm glad that we worked this out because I should have gotten them, but I know I haven't seen any emails from you. So,
No, I appreciate your time.
okay, thank you very much. Do you want to see the bills? Or?
No, I think that's fine. Because that would decide off on it. You know.
I'm going to look at that. But place we have.
So what was that guy's name?
Is there one?
Yeah, I was surprised that I thought he was with the.
I recognized who it was.
Well, I
He looked familiar. I just couldn't place him.
Yeah, I recognized.
I thought he was like Chris Clements.
I thought he was here for the bid on the financing bid, and then I realized when I looked up later that he was still here, but he hadn't.
He just wanted to make sure that the bid got in.
Fully understandable, and
hopefully sent wrote a letter and thank you for your bid, but we accepted.
Could have got lost in the shuffle too.
Well, if that was his bid, it got here. I don't know why it wasn't said.
Well, Seth still had a follow-up, so thank you for your bid.
Well, he indicated that
he probably knowed for 30 minutes after we're getting an agreement from the bank that we're getting financed for 12 MG. Oops, I didn't get that.
Well, that was on the, we approved that in public session. So.
Yeah, and
That was last week.
bid should have been stated on air, so we.
Michelle wanted me, I just have one copy of it. She wanted you guys all to see that.
Okay.
So you might have to just read through it. It's 12 pages long.
What's it?
And now you just bring it to us now.
Well, I've had it all afternoon.
What's it about?
It's a K-Camp questionnaire. That's all I know. That's what it says on the front. K-Camp questionnaire.
Who filled it out? Michelle?
I don't think it's been filled out. No.
I see. No.
Or maybe she did fill some of it out. I don't know.
It looks like it's been filled out to me.
Maybe she did.
Oh, I did think so. Yeah. Seth also had a PO for us for 2 by 10 14 gauge square signposts, 100 of those at $2,650, and 100 2¼ inch by 3 foot 12 gauge square sign anchors at a total price of $990 for those, and the total amount of the PO is $3,640. The vendor name is National Sign Company.
I move to authorize National Sign Company's purchase order in the amount of $3,640.
I'll second it, but I don't think he had to bring that forth because that's under his limit. He got 5,000.
No, he's still 2,500.
Oh, is he? Okay. I second that.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passed 3-0.
I thought we discussed raising this to 5,000.
We did discuss that, and I don't think we ever changed the
I thought we
amounts.
kept the department heads the same, but we give him authority to codify.
And you know something, it might have been a discussion, not a.
I thought we did that. Maybe we didn't.
How did the other person did?
Also, we have we need to have the Extension Council has a form that it just states the level of funding that the county provides for the Extension Council, and authorization for me to just give a signature on that.
I have a little input on that. Ray and Diane's pushing for this. I talked to two 4-H leaders that I know of, and one of them I think is, and they're highly against it because Leavenworth will.
Oh, you're talking about the
district.
This is just for K-State needs. This isn't anything to do with the district.
Okay.
So that's a discussion for later. Other than that, do I hear a motion to authorize?
I so moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Pass 3-0. Here's
I have that on my calendar.
okay.
Don't forget that K.K.A questionnaire that you just put in that blue folder.
Well, you slipped it in on me?
No, you slipped
We're
it
supposed
in.
to approve it?
I don't know. I think she just mainly wanted you guys to look at it. Nope, keep coming. Yeah.
Oh, right here.
I thought I looked at it. So.
You did, and you handed it to him, and he just put it in this folder.
I looked at it.
I'm not sure what she needed you to do with it. She just wanted me to make sure that you guys were aware that it was here.
Who gets to fill this out?
It looked like it's filled out.
I think Commissioner.
See, no, and then there's no other answer if you look through it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't see that top one.
Who wants to fill this out?
Okay. Yeah. Your hand went up first. Okay. Don't see anything here.
You know,
any further action?
I brought this up before when I looked through our insurance book on some of the values that they have on our buildings. I think we're throwing a lot of money away. I want to have our buildings covered, but some of the prices they got on the buildings, and the more they split up, the more money they
I
make.
guess the question is, do you want replacement value or?
We do, but on some of them it's crazy.
What would it cost to build this building?
Well, this one here wasn't, but some of the other buildings, it was. Well, the Roads and Bridge building was one of them.
It's $125 or $150 a square foot just to build a house today.
Yeah. Some of that, I fear, is okay. You're paying for replacement costs, but then when you lost it, they would almost want to argue it down that you're getting paid for an old facility. So it wouldn't hurt to next time we have those come in to review that.
And not every county uses KK.
That's true. Now, we went to a meeting when we had a commissioner orientation. What was that other group? We was both impressed. And we picked up things about you should review to make sure that you're covered. Well, we didn't know if we was covered or not, but after seeing it, oh my God, we're
Scared
covered.
us, because that's at the time that we were just getting ready to take on the ambulance service,
Correct.
and there was K-Camp's presentation was like, oh, okay, are we
Can't
really
recall.
fully insured across the board?
I can't recall the other name, but I was
David
very,
Luke was the
I was very impressed with it.
and he came and talked to us after that, so it was a good meeting. Any reason for an executive session? With that, do I hear a motion to adjourn at 2:17?
I said, well, Mr. Chairman.
Second. It's been moved and seconded to adjourn. All in favor say aye. Aye. We are adjourned.